The royal family has been warned the mood is starting to change by Dr. Owens over republicanism as table is turning ahead of Charles' reign. The Queen is recognized as head of state in 15 overseas realms. Over the years, some have voiced a growing desire to break away from the crown, and one, Barbados, is steaming ahead towards becoming a republic by the end of next month. On the other hand, other countries such as Canada, New Zealand and Australia still have large pockets of fierce monarchists among their populations and are happy to salute the British sovereign as their head of state. But royal commentator Dr. Ed Owens has highlighted the Republican movement down under has become more vocal over the past few years and has been embraced by many politicians. The honorary research associate at the Centre for the Study of Modern Monarchy at Royal Holloway University told Express.co.uk, Australia and New Zealand still have sections of staunch monarchists in the public opinion. Although perhaps in Australia the mood is starting to change. There is notably a number of high-profile political figures there talking more seriously, I think, about republicanism now than they were 20, 30 years ago. The Republican agenda has been very present over the last half-century, but it seems to have gained a greater voice in the last couple of years. Tracing back to a possible reason for this resurgence in republicanism, Dr. Owens said, "I think this is all connected to the fact that we are nearing the end of the Queen's reign. I think the reason why we are witnessing the changes we are now is because we are coming to the end of her reign, and to some extent this connection to the British monarch is because it is a more personal connection to the figure of Elizabeth II. Realistically, were Barbados going to accept as their new head of state the next King Charles? I think that's the serious question a lot of these states will need to pose to themselves. It's a deep personal affection, the one that has connected many of these countries to the monarchy back in Britain for a long time. With her loss comes the loss of a very direct connection with a woman who has played an important role in the life of these countries and islands." In March, the Australian Republican Movement, ARM, announced its plans to set out a model for a republic and spoke of its hopes for a referendum to be called within a year of the end of the Queen's reign. Jason Falinski, Liberal federal member for the division of Camilla, told The Guardian at the time 2/3 of the members of the Liberal National Coalition, the centre-right alliance currently leading the country, were in favour of a republic, but held different views on what the reform of the constitution should look like. Republicanism is officially supported by the Labour Party and Greens, currently sitting in the opposition benches. As noted by Dr. Owens, while republicanism may be on the rise, even many of those leaning towards the election of their future head of state in Australia are fans of Queen Elizabeth II. Malcolm Turnbull, a former Australian Prime Minister and active campaigner in the unsuccessful 1999 referendum to establish an Australian republic, told ABC TV earlier this year, "She's been an extraordinary head of state, and I think, frankly, in Australia, there are more Elizabethans than there are monarchists." Dr. Owens stressed he does not believe the coming of King Charles will mark the end of the presence of the Crown in Australia. First, he stressed republicanism takes time and preparation to come into force, adding, "I don't anticipate Australia is going to be voting for republicanism anytime soon." Moreover, he said he believes Prince Charles's arrival on the throne may open the floodgates. "There will be questions asked, but I don't think they will result in a change of status. And this is because while Prince Charles isn't among the most liked members of the royal family in Australia, his successor Prince William is extremely popular." He said, "I think what will be anchoring the monarchy in Australia will be that William is not in a so distant future. I think there is a lot of interest and good feelings towards William and his family. Apart from the Queen, he is by far the most popular member of the British royal family." A Commonwealth realm is a sovereign state which has Elizabeth II as its monarch and head of state. Each realm functions as an independent state, equal with the other realms. In 1952, Elizabeth II was the monarch and head of state of 7 independent states: the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Pakistan, and Ceylon. Since then, new realms have been created through independence of former colonies and dependencies, and some realms have become republics. As of 2021, there are 16 Commonwealth realms: Antigua and Barbuda, Australia, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Canada, Grenada, Jamaica, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Solomon Islands, Tuvalu, and the United Kingdom. All are members of the Commonwealth of Nations, an intergovernmental organization of 54 independent member states. All Commonwealth members are independent sovereign states, whether they are Commonwealth realms or not.